Hi, my name is Stephanie Toman. This is a video that covers part of the syllabus of the ICDL Advanced Qualification Word Processing. Using Word to 2016, we can also use Office 365 with regard to following this. This area that we're going to look at on this video is our field codes, using them, editing them, and locking and unlocking fields. So quite a bit, looking at the quick parts. No idea why it was ever called that, but there you go. Anybody got any ideas, let me know. But quick parts has got lots of fields in there, so we can learn the ones we need for the syllabus, but can also let you explore to use more. So hopefully you'll enjoy this if you need it. Thanks. And then if we open up 10 forms and field codes, we're going to work through these. So first of all, let's look at working with fields. Let's open up the number 1. Okay, so you have some fields in a document, and you can see that by clicking on areas. If they turn grey, they're fields. So that's how you know. Now, there's certain areas in the syllabus that are covered with fields. So we're going to look at some of those. So what I've done in here, if we look at the front first in the File tab, and on the Properties here at the top, you drop that down and go into Advanced Properties. You can build in things into a document, if you like, previously, so that you don't have to fill them in when you pop the fields in. So we could put in computer, just computers will do for now. You could put in your manager's name. There's lots of things you can put in here, and that's all in that area. However, you can also use in the Insert tab, you've got a Quick Parts area and field there. And when we use these areas, we can also fill in some information there too. So how did we do this? Let's have a look. Let's close that one and do one together. So let's not save that and open up Enter Fields. So here, let's have a look at the front and see in the tab what's in the Properties, Advanced Properties on this document. Let's put in a title, Computers. Let's put ICDL in the subject area and then just leave it like that. Okay, and then back into the document. So use a tab to keep things nice and tidy. So tab over, Insert tab, drop down Quick Parts into Field, and then you can search through here. You can make things easy by typing in a T, and that takes you through to all of the T's, and then you can pick up your title here. If you haven't put a title anywhere else, you can click on Title Case, and then you can put something in yourself from this side of things, and you can preserve the formatting when it's updated if you want to keep that on. So, okay, for the author, let's try and line these up a little bit better. Then we've got, yeah, that's better. So we're going to do a Quick Parts again, field, click on author. Let's do it on title case and then type that in. One's capitalized, one isn't. Let's see what it comes through as. It fixes both. Then we have field size. So let's go into Quick Parts again, and let's put an F in, and then it brings up file size. Okay, so we know that's the same thing. We can tick kilobytes, and then OK, and then we've got 44, and we can type in the KB. The final field that I'd like to cover is called fill in. It's on part of the syllabus. I use it in mail merge, so you get prompted to fill something in as a particular thing. So if you use the Quick Parts and field and type in F again, you'll get the fill in here. So what happens in the exam? They will ask you to use a fill in field, and they will tell you what they will prompt you with. So it might be sender's name, for example. That's where you put it. You don't put anything in this prompt, because what it says when the question asks you to put something in when you're prompted, with regard to sender's name, people think that you prompt the next bit's going to go in there, and it could be like your name or Joe Blogs. Let's use Joe Blogs. So instead of popping anything in there, you just put the sender's name in there as they've instructed you in the exam, probably apostrophe. Then when you OK, that's where you put the prompted name, not in the actual dialog box, and when you're OK, you'll see it there, and you can tell what's a field and what isn't. So these are fields, and I popped on there all the area you can find them, and they're in the quick parts, which is a very strange feature name, I know, but that's where they are. So let's close this and let's have a look a little bit more about fields. So let's open up lock and unlock fields. Still part of the fields. Just want you to have a look at this and see what happens when you lock a field. The first thing is that you need to know these shortcut keys. You need to know Control and F11 locks a field, and you need to show that you can unlock a field as well with Control, Shift and F11. And we use this in the tables demonstration when you lock fields there. So you may already remember this. So that's a field. If I right click on it, it's unlocked. I know it's unlocked because it's correct. Same there. It's unlocked. That's not grayed out. However, this one is incorrect. It's not updated the time. And you can see there that it is locked. So try and unlock it. So remember how to unlock it. It's down here. Control Shift F11. And when you right click on it, you should be able to update the field. Okay, so, and if you're locking it again, you can highlight it like that if you wish, or just click on it as long as it's grey. Control F11, and now it's locked again. So Control Shift F11, and then we can update it, and it changes the time. So that's an area you need to be aware of. If you want to change, there is the Alt and F9 if you want to see toggle codes behind. That just jumps you back and forwards, but it won't be in the exam. These will be in the exam, so be aware of them. Okay, now we're moving on to 3. We're going to demo creating a memo within Word. So this is the filling in forms that I might have mentioned earlier. And what it is, I'm just going to go on here and get us into normal view. Bear with me, no markup. Okay. So form fields are used to create forms that you can use to fill in. You can send them off, you're an editor, you create it, you can get people to fill them in and send them back to you. They're very simplistic, but they can work a bit like an online form if you like. And they use an area in the developer tab. So you need the developer tab and you need to be able to access this legacy tools, legacy form here. So remember how to get the developer tab. So you're going into File, Options, make sure you're in the Customize ribbon and tick the developer on there. Okay, and then when you go in here, you can drop that down. We don't use the ActiveX controls in the exam, we just use these first 3 items on the legacy form tools. Okay, let's have a go at this together. Have a look at this one first. So you can see here that I've got Susan there. You can see that they're fields, can't you, in a sense? They call them drop-down form field, text form fields, and then you've got a checkbox form field that we're going to use as well. This is your checkbox form field. So when I protect this, let's do it together. So on the developer tab, you've got restrict editing. So when I click on restrict editing, you know, previously I've talked about editing restrictions. So this is the same feature I've done before. If this is the first time you've seen a video, then this is where we tick. So it's normally off like that. You tick that on, and I've dropped that down to filling in forms. When I start enforcement, I don't have to put a password unless they ask me to in the exam, or in real life, I would put a password in so that somebody doesn't mess around with it. And then what happens to it when you click on it, it actually turns into something that you can use, and you can tab through and you can type in stuff and you can put in data, okay, because it's been protected. So you've created it as the auditor or editor, and they are then going to use it. So let's have a go at this. Let's close this without saving. Let's actually do it together. So create a memo together. Okay, so it's got about using a tab when you complete the form. That's why it filled in everything. And I'm going to line these up. If we go to the View tab and tick on the ruler, I've got a tab set there already. So when I tab across, they'll all be the same. So let's put these form fields in. So we've got our developer tab, our legacy tools, and the first one we're going to put it to somebody. So it's going to be a drop down form field, the one that drops down and gives you an option. So we're going to click in there, and to get its properties we can either right click and go to, oops, so you can see it better, properties there, or you can use the properties up here on the ribbon, or you can double click and that gives you properties. So put some names in. And you can add or you can enter. Another thing that you might have to do is they may ask you to move these up and down. For example, if I removed these and we had something like the first one was yes, then no, and then maybe, I would want the yes at the top because that's the one that's going to be seen sat there. So what you're doing with the online forms is you're putting in the one you want them to answer first. So if you were going to do gauge something by 1 to 10, you put the 10 at the top if that's the best. Okay, so I'm just going to remove them again, pop some names in just like we were. Just wanted to see how it can be used otherwise. Okay, I'm okay with that. So we just see the first one, the one at the top. If you want to change it, put Susan down the bottom, we can do, and we see Tom at the top. Then we've got the next one. So we tab to the place, go back to our legacy tools, and this is going to be using what they call a text form field. Text form field has a lot of different things you can use. So we double click on it. And if you drop this down, there are a lot of different things that we can use in our form. So all through the text form field. So I click on regular text, I could put my name. So that's going to be the same all the way for everyone, isn't it? Because I'm the one that sent it. I could do a text format, but I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then OK. With my date, I can go back into the same form, text form, double click, and I could use current date or just date. And then I could change the date format to be a particular date that I want, and OK. So I'll click on that. So they could put the date in when they're filling in. If I wanted to keep the date as in the same date that I sent it out, I'd use the current date like that and you would see it. Okay, so that's the difference in those. Subject area, I could just put that as something that's in there because it could be all about the same thing. Regular text, I'll just put ICDL. And for urgent, you can have a checkbox. Let's try that one. There's the little checkbox there. The message, you could pop in a text form again. You can see you're getting the message here, double click. And we could have it as a comment, just regular text. And you could change the text format if you wanted. It is unlimited, so people can put quite a lot in. And then when it comes to the cost, we could put in another text form and we could actually put in currency or number, best one, do a format. If we did that, we wanted a euro in front, remember alt great and a key 4, and we could put that in so that when we send this, people can move it. So we're going to restrict it now. In the developer tab, it's there. You've still got it in the review if you prefer to use it that way. Both are exactly the same. So restricting, we've got it on filling in forms. Make sure it is on there. Yes, start enforcing, no password. And then what happens if you tab between them? You can, I could be something that makes, maybe likes to write a lot, so you could have a limited restriction there. And then if you tab again, you could put in a tab, you get your euros in. With this one, what we could do is we could stop the protection, and we could click on this one, double click, and we could actually put a help text in add help text, this feature here. So we click on there. On the status bar, it could come up down here on the status bar, or it could be on a help key. But I'm going to put in type your own. I'm going to say, please do not go on and on. And I obviously would not do this to a customer or somebody who's spinning my thoughts, which is a bit of fun. So I okay that. So when they come to this one, if I enforce it, and then the tabbing, there you can see that it's come up on the bar there. So remember the help, add help feature. Okay, that gives people information if they need trying to fill something in. So we're going to stop that one. And then we've got this one here, protecting form fields, just to remind us all the different things that you can use. So this is like a bit of revision where it can remind you of what to use if you want to have a play with it, see what you can create, maybe something to do with your course. It's not vastly used, but it will get a quick online form across to people. Okay, so that's the form field codes, and I'm going to do mail merge next.